For the Islamic calendar, Muslims will be celebrating Eid al-Adha. Now, if you don't know what that time is, it's basically a celebration of sacrifice. Sacrifice of what, you may be wondering? Well, to the Muslims, it will be sacrifice to a fake pagan god known as Allah, their interpretation of what God actually is, including the likes of someone that is ignorant, someone that is hateful, that wants the Jews and Christians to be annihilated, basically any infidel. And also, you must commit a great deal of bloodshed. That is what their sacrifice includes. If you look into the whole celebration as a whole, right, it seems like it's a great time for Muslims everywhere, right? And that may be so, but what they're really celebrating in terms of who they're worshiping and celebrating and praying to, it makes a great deal more sense. Now, typically what the Muslims will do is they will sacrifice an animal, basically what they used to do back in Bible times, whatever the animal is, and they'll share the meat along the family and then along with the poor. That's what the internet told me, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. So Ridvan, who's an apostate prophet who apparently, I believe, was a Muslim, no longer is one. That's why he calls himself an apostate. That's what happens when you were a Muslim and no longer you're an apostate, a kafir, they call it. He goes, I wish Muslims that they leave their destructive religion behind and become better. Gee, I want to know this. Why is it that Muslims, there's like over 50 Muslim states or Arab states over in the Middle East, right? And why is it that so many Muslims come to Christian countries? Ever thought about that? Oh, but they want to be peaceful. I have them being peaceful. Right. Okay. And that's why we've got a lot of issues in our country as a result of their so-called peace. Peace through dominance, right? Yeah. Okay. And then we've got the likes of our leaders, our dingbat Western leaders, leading our country down a very dark black hole. Now, I recently saw Mark Carney, who is, for my UK audience, or my other non-Canadian audience members, he is the Canadian Prime Minister, right? So sadly, the Canadians decided to do a stupid thing and elect this dingbat, Mark Carney, but also Pierre Poilievre, whatever the hell his name is, the Conservative leader, also wished the Muslims a happy Eid al-Adha, whatever the hell, however the hell you say it. I don't really care. Which goes to show you, right, why would Christians wish Muslims a happy day of sacrifice to a pagan god? Gee, I don't know, but that's exactly what these politicians do. It's virtue signaling. And well, Mark Carney, while we're on the subject, decided to make a speech to the Muslim Association and of Canada. And at the Muslim Association of Canada, Mark Carney said this.
And the message of Eid resonates in this room, across this city, and I may say it should resonate with all Canadians. It's a story that some of us hear with slightly different nomenclature, whether the prophet is called Ibrahim or Abraham, Ishmael or Isaac. The lessons and values of Eid are the same. Canada, our Canada, is a diverse country, proud home to different languages, different beliefs, different cultures. Those are differences that make us unique and make us strong. We can pray differently. We can gather in different places of worship, but all of us come together, all of us must come together around the values of Eid, the values of community, of generosity, and yes, of sacrifice. These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
This is the problem about when you are trying to be all-inclusive, right? You only include one particular group and then exclude the other. Notice how he goes. So the Muslims believe Ibrahim, supposed to be Abraham, Ishmael, which is also the son of Abraham, or Isaac. So if you go back in Bible times and you look at Hagar, so the Sarah, whichever name you want to use, gave her servant, who I believe was Egyptian, to Abraham because she became impatient. And then Abraham decided to go, yeah, sure, okay, I believe you, wife. Sleeps with Hagar, and Ishmael becomes a result of that. Now, yes, God did look after Hagar and Ishmael because it was completely unfair what happened to them. But nevertheless, somewhere along the lines, you had the Muslim race that came or sprang up from Ishmael's seed. Now, Isaac, on the other hand, became, well, as we know, the father of Israel. So his lineage along those lines. So you've got two nations, essentially. One, Israel, the other, well, Islam. Islam being the religion, obviously, you've got loads of Arabs that came from Ishmael that started nations, you name it. And they've been warring against each other for a very, very long time. And that's biblical, man. It's quite fascinating when you look into it. And somewhere along the lines, you had these dingbats that became leaders that now go, oh, we've got to unite Christians and Muslims together, whether or not you think it's Abraham, which Christians do, or Ibrahim, Muslims do. It's Isaac or Ishmael. Isaac, Christians and Jews. Ishmael, it's Muslims. Our values are the same. No, they're not. I'll have you know they are completely and totally different. Canada, our Canada. Yes, our Canada. I'm not Canadian, but I have many Canadian friends. And I can only imagine how many of my Canadian friends would have reacted seeing this dingbat on stage going like, Canada, yes, our Canada is a diverse nation, ladies and gentlemen. And because we are a diverse nation, we allow terrorists into our country to destroy the very Christian country we were founded upon. Yeah, we can't have Christianity anymore. We'll try and appease Christians, right? We'll try and act all inclusive of them too. Not really, no. We'll say that our values are the same. Spoiler alert, they're totally different. They're nowhere near the same, I'll have you know. We worship a God of peace, love, kindness, generosity. Meanwhile, they serve a warlord, a warmonger that R-worded or graped a 9-year-old at the time named Aisha, and they don't want their prophet to seem like he was a child abuser. He was. So what's worse, that he graped a 9-year-old and claimed to marry her, or that he was, in fact, a child abuser? I don't know. You tell me. The Muslims seem to know. They worship the bugger, like seriously, and they're incredibly violent. They've got in their Quran that I'm an infidel, shouldn't have peace with infidels, Sharia, conquer the world, and this Canadian dingbat decided to basically mock Christians and praise Islam. Yeah, we to say that we've got the same values as Muslims is a huge slap and mockery, if you ask me, because they're not even anywhere close. I'm not Canadian, but I think I can speak for a lot of Canadians and that would more than likely agree with me. Mark Carney does not speak for me, for you, for anyone. He speaks for himself. Doesn't speak for Canadians at all. He speaks for himself. And to say that all Canadians share the same value as Eid, honestly, man, nah. It doesn't work like that. And that's a problem with this virtue signaling nonsense. You sound like an actual dingbat. You sound like I can't use the terminology, but I think you guys can tell what I'm trying to allude to. But you're not doing anything at all, except for showing everyone that you're just including the destruction of Canada. That's exactly what you're doing. Islam's taking over very, very quickly, and you're trying to appease both sides, except you're actually appeasing more of Muslims. You don't see any of this for Easter. You don't see any of this for Christmas time, but somehow Eid is more important. Huh. Strange, isn't it? Very strange indeed. Why? Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.